What's up guys? So I picked up this bandsaw at my local thrift store and it was covered in rust. So I'm going to show you how I get this rust off of this metal surface, and it'll show you how to get rust off pretty much any cast iron metal surface in your workshop. This is honestly the most affordable and easiest way I've found to clean rust off of my tools, so let's go ahead and get into this video. The first thing I do is start by taking the tabletop off of whatever tool I plan on cleaning, just to make it a little bit easier to clean so I don't have to try and work around that blade or whatever parts of the tool that might get in the way. If the surface you are trying to clean is not easily removable, just go ahead and take off any accessories of the tool that might get in the way or remove the blade if necessary. And now that I got this tabletop removed, let's go ahead and get into what you'll actually need to get this tabletop looking like new. So the first thing I use is a sander, and I suggest getting a few different sized grits, but the lowest I would go is about 120 grit so that it doesn't eat away at the actual surface of the table. The next thing I use is some WD-40. This is what starts to break away the rust to make it a lot easier to take off. And finally, I use some Scotch Brite pads to start taking off that first layer of rust. And now you're going to want to grab your WD-40 and start spraying down your tabletop. Be sure to put a pretty heavy coat on this, as this is the first main coat you're going to want to place on this tabletop to start eating away at this rust. Once you're done spraying down this coat, just leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that it can eat away at as much rust as possible. Next, I'm going to grab my Scotch Brite pad and some gloves and start working away at this rust. You're definitely not going to hurt your tabletop, so go ahead and put in some elbow grease in this step just to make it a little easier for your sander later on. And once I am done scrubbing it down, I'm going to grab an old shop rag and start wiping away at this excess WD-40 and wiping off this rust that I got off with that Scotch pad. Even with just the Scotch pad, this surface looks a million times better, but I think the surface can look even better, so let's go ahead and grab some more WD-40 and put another heavy coat on the areas that still show a lot of wear or rust on the surface. And again, leave it sitting for about 5 to 10 minutes so that it can eat away more at that surface rust. And I'm going to start with 120 grit sandpaper to start working away at this surface rust. Go ahead and put it on your sander and then start sanding it down with a little bit of force. And one good tip I learned is to just leave the sander rotating on the main spots that still show some heavy rust, and that'll work away at the rust a whole lot faster than going back and forth. And once you're done with the sander, go ahead and grab your Scotch Brite pad and do one more wipe with it across the entire surface. And now grab your shop rag and go ahead and wipe off that excess WD-40 and the residue that was left over from the rust itself. And look at that, it looks so much better than it did in the beginning. It's still going to show some signs of the rust with some staining on the edges, but overall I would say that this looks so much better than it did before. And again, the way I remove this rust is very simple, and all you're going to need is that sander, some WD-40, some Scotch Brite pads, the sandpaper itself, and your gloves. And the final step I was not able to show in this video is a top coat sealer for the tabletop, which I suggest getting some Glide Coat or some Varathane finishing wax. I really hope this video is able to help some of y'all find a very affordable way to clean your tabletops and make them look just like they were brand new. And if y'all haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. It will be greatly appreciated. I will see y'all next time. Take care.